Yeah.
Wow, so if you would probably like in the UK in the same since the series going on and then it wasn't in the UK, people say the same case, she came to the UK. It's way of like saying like if you or like a person like say like a change man, like a change country, like that's very good years. And the Duke why did now
Okay, you ready? Yeah, you're good.
I've said that
So far 3, but no, like if it's working.
you should.
Okay, thank you for everyone who's joining us this week. And also I'd like to thank any parents who filled out the survey. We really appreciate all of your feedback. Okay, anyone who's yet to be on the WhatsApp group, both anyone here and parents, will share out the link to anyone who doesn't have it yet. Just let me know. We're very excited to have the second Shana Aleph Chabura this week, and it will be followed by another Shana Aleph Chabura next week by Saul Bishop, he says somewhere. So if you want to give one, whether Shana Aleph, Shana Bet or older, please do approach me, because we need people to give Chaburas.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Before I begin, I just want to thank Ezra for helping me out. It should be Refuah Shlema for Chaya Nacha Bat Riva Leah. And if you just look at the sheets quickly, we're going to go by the numbers on the Hebrew side, because on the English side, they got a little messed up. Okay, so Parsha Shemot is a jam-packed parsha. We have Paro gives harsh decrees on the Jews. The slavery begins. Moshe is born. He kills the Egyptian. He flees to Midian. He comes back. We have the burning bush. It's a very exciting parsha. But the part I wanted to focus on is Pasuk Chet in Parak Aleph. In source number 1, it reads, Vayakam melech chadash al Mitzrayim asher lo yada Yosef. A new king arose over Mitzrayim, and he did not know Yosef. So source number 2 is the very famous Rashi as to what does it mean Vayakam melech chadash, that a new king arose. And we see Rav Shmuel. We have a machlokes between Rav and Shmuel. But the important thing to note is that we don't know who says what. Chad Amar Chadash Mamish. One of them says it's literally a new king. The Chad Amar Shenitchad Shug Zeirotzav. The other one says it's not a new king. It's the same king, and he just made new decrees. So machlokes, new king, new decrees. We don't know who says what. So let's take a look at this machlokes inside the Gemara in source number 3 in Sota Yud Aleph. The first part is the same thing as Rashi. Chad Amar Chadash Mamish. V'chad Amar Shenitchad Shug Zeirotzav. I wanted to bring this source so we can understand the logic behind the two opinions. Manda Amar Chadash Mamish. According to the opinion that says that it's literally a new king, his reasoning is Dichtiv Chadash. It says new. So it's a new king because it says new. Umanda Amar Shenitchad Shug Zeirotzav. But according to the opinion that says that it's the same king but it brought new decrees, his reasoning is Diloktiv Vayimoloch Asher Lo Yada Yosef. The pasuk did not say that King A died and then King B came to power and he didn't know Yosef. It just says Vayakam melech chadash. If it would have said Vayimoloch, then that would mean it's a new king. So in case we didn't follow till now, we have a machlokes melech chadash. One opinion says it's a new king literally, and the other one says it was new decrees, but we don't know who said what. So we're going to put that aside, and we're going to talk about a different machlokes in source number 4 in Masechah Shabbos Daf Ayin Hey Amud Aleph. This machlokes discusses what is a magushta. So the same as before, Rav and Shmuel, machlokes between Rav and Shmuel. Chad Amar Charshi. One of them says, what is a magushta? A magushta is a magician. The Chad Amar Gedufi. And one of them says, what's a magushta? It's a gedufi. A gedufi is someone that portrays themselves as a god. They think they are a god. To Stein, we end up concluding the Rav Amar Gedufi. That Rav says that a magushta is a gedufi. A gedufi is someone that makes himself a god. So magushta, machlokes, Rav and Shmuel. Rav says God, Shmuel says Charshi. But what does this have to do with Parsha Shemot? Seemingly nothing. But if you take a look at source number 5, we learn that Paro Shehaya Bimei Moshe Amugashi Haya. That Paro that was there in the times of Moshe, he was actually a Megushta. He was a Amugashi. And we see this from the pasuk of Hine Yotze Hamayma. And he would come out to the water. So we start to think maybe we could imply the machlokes of Rav Shmuel as to whether a Megushta is someone that makes himself a god or a magician back to Paro. And this is exactly what Tosfos does in source number 6. It reads, Perish Ba'orech, the Orech explains, Tipalgi B'chadza Amar Rav Papa Be'elam Agalchin. They argue about Rav Papa said in the parak of Elam Agalchin and Moed Katan, which we just did, Paru Amugashi Haya, that Paro was a Amugashi. Dichtiv, as the pasuk says, Hine Yotze Hamayman, he left the water. Chad Amar Lasok Shafayim Haya Yotze. One opinion says that he went to do magic, which is the opinion of Shmuel, which we just said, that Amugashti is a Charshi. Bechad Amar, and the other one says, Gedufi, Shaya Ose Atzmo Avodah Zara. That Paro was a Gedufi. He made himself out to be a god. He made himself to be an Avodah Zara. And the proof from this is Shahaya Omer, that Paro said, and we see in Yechezkel, Li Yaori Va'ani Asitani. The Nile River is for me, and I created it. So very clearly there, Paro is making himself out to be an Avodah Zara. So I want to bring back the original machlokas we brought from Rashi. We had Rav Shmuel. One of them said it's literally a new king, and the other one said, no, it's not a new king, rather he just made new decrees. And we're going to combine it with this machlokas we just did to try to figure out who said what. So we're going to read the Ein Yaakov, who writes, V'nira li, it appears to me, Hatam she'amar va'ani asitani lefi ha'yor, according to the reason that says that I created the Nile, and it is for me, which is the opinion of Rav, that Paro made himself out to be a god. What is it that made him think he was a god? It's that when he would go to the Nile, the water would rise up to him. And we see this from Rashi. V'chapirish Rashi al Parshat Vayigash, al Pasuk Bereshit in Parak in Mem Zayin, Vayivarech Yaakov. If you remember 2 weeks ago on Parshat Vayigash, when Yaakov first comes down to Mitzrayim, he has this meeting with Paro. and he gives Paro a bracha. The bracha is that the Nile River will rise up to him. So when Paro is saying, he's saying that because the water rises up to me, he's thinking, I'm a god, therefore the water is rising up to me. But realistically, it's because the bracha of Yaakov. Now, if you want to take it a step further, let's think about it for a second. If Paro is getting the bracha of the water to rise up to him, that bracha would only apply to the same Paro that received the bracha. Therefore, that must be referring to the same king. Had there be a new king, the bracha wouldn't apply. So therefore, Rav, who says that a gedufi, a god, is a magushta, which is Paro, he must say that it is the same king, because the bracha of Yaakov would not apply. Aval, now we're going to do the other side of it. If we're going to say that it's literally a new king, what was our question? Im kain, if so, lo ala nilus l'raglov, the water would not have risen up to him. The bracha from Yaakov does not carry over from Paro to Paro. So we would say, tzarach lomer, we would have to say, shahaya machshev, that this Paro was a magician, he did magic, which is the opinion of Shmuel that we did before. So therefore, according to Shmuel, Paro is a magician. So therefore, it does not have to be the same king. It could be a new king. And even though you're going to say, wait, the bracha of Yaakov doesn't apply, he used magic, and that's how the water rised up. Continuing on, Nimtza de Azli l'shitaya, we find it goes according to this reasoning. According to the Gemara's conclusion, like I said before, we would say that Rav, who says Gedufi, we would take his logic here to say that he would say it was new decrees, and it was the same king. And the end of the Ein Yaakov in the last paragraph brings an extra point to say that it would be potentially the same king who just brought new decrees. Venirally, it appears to me that we are very specific with the wording of the pasuk. Dichtiv, as it's written, Vayakam melech chadash HaMitzrayim, and the new king arose in Mitzrayim. Havalei, if we were talking about a new king, Lichtov b'Mitzrayim, the pasuk should have said b'Mitzrayim instead of al Mitzrayim. And we see this, Kemo Dichtiv, like it's written in Bereshis Lamed, Vayimloch melech be'edom b'Cheshvan. There where we are very clearly appointing a new king, we have the bet, be'edom b'Cheshvan. So seemingly, since here we say al Mitzrayim instead of b'Mitzrayim, it would be the same king. Just a quick summary of what we did here. We started out with the pasuk in Shemot, Vayakam melech chadash. Then Rashi explained we have Rav and Shmuel. One of them said it's literally a new king, and the other one said they just brought new decrees. We then went to understand the logic behind each of the opinions. The logic behind literally a new king, because the pasuk says chadash, so chadash mamish, it's a new king. And the logic behind bringing it decrees, but it's the same king, was that the pasuk should have said vayamat vayimloch, king A died, king B came to power. Then we put that aside, and we established the machlokas from combining Maseches Shabbos and Maseches Moed Katan. And through Tosfos, we had the machlokas with Paro. Paro we now established is a magushti. Does that mean that he is either, according to Shmuel, a magician, or according to Rav, a gedufi? And then when talking about the bracha that Yaakov gave to Paro, that the water rose up, according to the opinion that it is the same Paro, this logically makes sense, because the bracha would not carry over from Paro to Paro. So in order for the water to rise up to him, it would be the same Paro. But then Shmuel, who said that Paro was really a magician, was then able to say, no, the water rose up because he was a magician, and we didn't need to carry over the bracha. And then the further point to establish that potentially it was the same king and it was new decrees is that our pasuk says Vayakam melech al Mitzrayim instead of b'Mitzrayim. Thank you.